In this video, you'll learn about how administrators can integrate Active Directory with the CA Test Data Manager portal. Before you start following the AD integration process demonstrated in this video, ensure that appropriate AD groups and users are already available on the AD server. Ensure that appropriate AD users are already added to the relevant AD groups, and ensure that you have already noted the required AD groups and users that you want to add to the CA TDM portal. This diagram helps you understand the AD integration process. 1. The first step in this process is to configure the AD integration settings. This step comprises the following tasks: setting the authentication mode, specifying the integration parameter values, validating the authentication, configuring the default AD groups. This is an optional task. 2. In the next step, you provide access to AD users. You can do this in two ways depending on your requirements. You can map appropriate AD groups to the portal groups, or you can add AD users directly to the portal group. After the mapping and user additions are done, AD users can log into the portal. They can then perform all the operations that other native users can, depending on the associated CATDM portal group. So let's see how Joe, who's an administrator, integrates AD with the portal. Joe has been asked to allow AD users in his organization to access the CATDM portal. The business requirements are as follows. All users in the AD group GRP1_AD2 must automatically get administrator access when any new project is created in the CATDM portal. This is done by making this AD group the default administrator AD group in the portal. All users in the AD group GRP2_AD2 must automatically get tester access when any new project is created in the CATDM portal. This is done by making this AD group the default tester AD group in the portal. All users in the AD group GRP3_AD2 must get the same privileges that users of a specific CATDM portal user group are getting. This is done by explicitly mapping this AD group to the required portal group. AD user Sue Anderson must be explicitly added to a CATDM portal group so that she can get the same privileges. Joe has logged into the CATDM portal using his portal administrator credentials. He's already performed the required prerequisite tasks. For example, he has created and identified the AD groups and users on the AD server. To configure the integration settings, Joe expands Configuration and clicks Authentication. This page lets Joe set the authentication mode for AD and specify values for the required integration parameters. He selects AD/LDAP from this drop-down list. This setting ensures that the user authentication in the CATDM portal happens against AD. He then moves to the Basic Settings section. He enters the AD server host name and port number. He then enters information about the base distinguished name, base DN. He also specifies the user DN of the user that he wants to use to connect to the AD server. The password is related to this user DN. In the Additional Settings section, Joe selects the referral strategy as Follow. He specifies the name of the AD user object class. In this field, he enters the attribute field that he wants to use when loading the user name. Joe then specifies the organization of the AD user object class that he wants to use when loading the users. Similarly, he enters the AD group object class to be used when loading the groups. He provides the group ID attribute in this field. In this field, Joe specifies the organization unit of the AD group object class, which is used when loading the groups. Finally, he enters the attribute field to use when loading the group members from the group. After reviewing the information, he clicks the Test button to verify the connection. The success message indicates that the test was successful. Joe then clicks the Next button to navigate to the default AD Groups configuration page. This page lets Joe specify those AD groups to which he wants to provide default administrator access and tester access. After this configuration is done, whenever a new project is created in the portal, these specified AD groups are assigned to the project as default AD groups. To do so, Joe first selects the required AD group for the default administrator access. He then selects this AD group for the default tester access. He clicks Finish to complete the AD settings configuration. This message indicates that authentication settings are configured successfully. Joe is now ready to provide access to other AD users so that they can also log into the portal. He can achieve this in two ways depending on his requirements: by mapping AD groups to the portal groups, or by directly adding users to the portal group. This video demonstrates both methods. Joe can map AD groups to the portal user groups from two places in the portal, the Project Management page and the User Management page. In this video, the Project Management page is used to do the mapping. When we create a new project, note that the configured default AD groups are automatically added to this newly created project. He clicks the Project Manager icon, selects this project, and expands User Groups. This is the portal group to which he wants to map the AD group GRP3_AD2. He searches for and selects the AD group, then closes this dialog. The group mapping is done. Now all users of the AD group get the same access privileges as the mapped portal group users. The last requirement for Joe is to add the AD user Sue Anderson to the portal user group. To do so, he clicks Configuration, Access Control, User Groups. He locates the portal user group to which he wants to add the user. He clicks Users, Add User, searches for the AD user, and clicks Add. The AD user is added to the portal group. Joe informs all the AD users that they can now log into the portal and perform required operations based on the assigned privileges. AD user Lynn Parker is a member of the default AD administrator group GRP1_AD2. Lynn logs into the portal using her AD credentials. Review that Lynn has all the administrator privileges that any default administrator must have, which is correct. Another AD user, Kathy Dimitri, is a member of the default AD tester group GRP2_AD2. Kathy logs into the portal and gets the tester privileges, which is as expected. AD user Charlie Boyd is a member of the AD group GRP3_AD2. This AD group was mapped to a specific portal group. Note that Charlie can log into the portal and gets the same privileges that other users in the portal group have. Similarly, Sue Anderson was directly added to the portal group. She can also log into the portal using her AD credentials, and she gets the same privileges that are available to other users in this portal group. In this video, you learned how an administrator can integrate Active Directory with the CA Test Data Manager portal.